If you're looking for a world of adventure, then Daggerheart has 5 campaign frames for you. And we're going to talk about Beast Feast.
Beast Feast from the designers Banana Chan, Rowan Hall, and Spencer Stark, some of your faves. When a small village's monster defense system fails, the local heroes must venture into the endless caverns below to fix it and kick up trouble for the creatures that stand in their way. Is that sounding familiar to anybody?
Well, I mean, I suppose a little bit. What are the touchstones they're pulling from?
Sure. Remember, guys, Daggerheart is expecting you to be familiar here. So it's got touchstones like Delicious in Dungeon, Monster Hunter World. Everybody loves a good cat making
Great voice actors in that.
Ooh, very good. And One Piece, guys. So super fun.
And you can already tell from just the way you read that intro line, the tone here is going to be very different to other campaign frames like Motherboard or Five Banners Burning. Make it delicious is one of the instructions in this. There's a series of mechanics of mini games for cooking up feasts. It's a special short rest option that replaces the other short rest option for healing.
Yeah.
So if you want to heal in a Beast Feast campaign, hopefully you retrieved some monster parts. Hopefully you grabbed some mushrooms. Apologies to the fungal in the party.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps you've found a way to spice the food in certain ways that give you mechanical advantages. There are rules for that.
Yeah.
So, cooking minigame, another Legend of Zelda reference there.
Of course, absolutely. Yeah. Everybody knows the sound effects. We have to talk about these fungirls because remember, they are giving you such good context for how to add little immersive details into your game. For example, you have all kinds of things that are different for the ancestries you select for this or the classes that you select. Let's talk about those fungrill. Remember our mushroom people. Fungrill can hear mushrooms screaming as they are harvested. Unfortunately, a majority of plant life in the Plover Caves is fungi. So you can imagine how immediately I would be playing a fungrill immediately.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Hooked into that mycelial network.
Yeah.
Hoping to convince your friends not to eat a plentiful underground food source.
This has already come up at our home games on the Faint Divinities, by the way, because it's just such a fun concept. Fungrill concept. Anyway, it's really fantastic. I also want to talk about some of the equipment.
Yes, specialty for this campaign frame.
Because some of these campaign frames have different equipment that might be missing in other sections of the book. This one, for example, you might want to be a chef, right? So why would you be using a greatsword when you could be using a cleaver? When you could be using a fishing rod? Oh my gosh, we're living the MMORPG
fishing
of our
mini game, yeah.
Fishing
yes,
in
indeed.
the game. Maybe you have a barrel lid shield. Oh my gosh.
And you can obviously see that there's a lot of fun to be had here, but they go to a great job of explaining you're going to want to hunt beasts for ingredients. You're going to want to cook the most delicious foods. There's obviously a lot there for players to get excited about. I run TTRPG games for kids who I am sure would just do this for decades.
Yeah.
But there are ways suggested in the campaign frame for you to kind of tweak things a little bit, to try and reveal a more important or a more grandiose aim that they might want to achieve. It is a monster defense system that needs to be fixed. That to me is also really compelling. Villagers have to go take care of the monster defense system because you're essentially living in the dungeon and just trying to keep the monsters either out or in their traps.
Yeah, 100%. And I want to key in on what you had talked about. This system, complexity rating 2, okay? So it's not going to be one of your most difficult ones. And I know a ton of people who run games for kids or at schools and stuff.
Yeah.
I think this is a great way to introduce people to that. And speaking of like fun features of it, the making a feast. Everybody knows that food in fantasy, they go hand in hand, you know? So there is a whole section around making a feast of using downtime moves to clear stress, hit points, gain hope. Instead, in this case, you get to make a feast by contributing the ingredients you have. And you get that little moment that you have in video games. You can see the campfire flickering and all of your friends gathered around there. You know, just they got the ham hock in there.
And not only do they have specific things like dire gazelle, skull marrow, or other monster ingredients.
Holy cow's milk, holy cow.
That do specific things mechanically. They even have their very own chain restaurant called Berries that you can stop in at various places going through these underground tunnels.
Yes.
I have specifically had Taco Bells in all of my after-school program D&D games because the kids will defend that more than any castle they have ever seen. So I can imagine that there is a lot here to dig into for young people and just the young at heart.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, check out Beast Feast
Beast Feast
in Daggerheart, a world of delicious fun.
Ooh.